Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the team scores for the Dethanial Boss of the new Battle Drills map we have. I'm on Old Grey Gamer's account because his guild managed to take down the boss almost completely and it is only day 2. My guild has just started attacking the boss, so we don't have as many different teams to compare, and so this is going to be a better showcase of it. And by the way, his guild went for the strategy of getting the buffs first, so for example the upper 2 towers joining up at this middle guard, and then also the upper right tower moving down, connecting to this stronghold, with the bottom tower moving up, connecting there. And I do think that is it's probably the best strategy. You collect all of your buffs, you unite all of the bases. That is going to give you these 3 different camp skills, and then you're able to just destroy the whole map. Because if you take a look at this stronghold right here, this was the guard which we first attacked in my guild. It probably took us like 30 people attacking or more, like 30 attacks before we were able to take it down. They took it down in basically 1.5 or so attacks because they got all of their buffs before they attacked the guard. And so yeah, I think this is probably the better strategy. And by the way, this team is going to be the Carolina Persa Arden team, which I've shown before. With ideally, if you have 2 wilder buff tiles, it just destroys this. But even without that, if you have all of your buffs, you're going to dominate this. Okay, so taking a look at the main boss, let's take a look at the teams, and I want to pay specific attention to the damage output of all the heroes across the different teams, because we don't know what are the overall best teams. We need to see which heroes are doing the best into this boss. So the first one, which is like amazing and how high the damage is it's a Vala team. Vala is apparently an amazing option when the boss is below 50% health. When he's above 50% health, I'm not sure. And looking at Marilee's damage, it's pretty low. But Corrin did not do too bad damage either. With Rainier, just to debuff the boss, and the resonating spell is on the Vala. And he has the factional buff tile on the Vala as well, I believe, because he has 10 light bearer factions. When she casts her ultimate, is it a double cast? Yeah, it is a double cast. I think so. That's probably why she deals so much damage with the resonating spell on that ultimate buff tile. You can even try this team before getting to 50%. I think it would be fine, but it will be much better when the boss is at below 50%. But amazing that a 4-man team is actually the top of the damage chart. That's pretty crazy. Okay, looking at the second team, which also is pretty good. Lily May is a top damage dealer for this boss. Let's just look at some other teams. And surprisingly, Shakir and Kruger are also dealing a really high amount of damage. Even higher than Odie in this team here, which you would definitely not expect. Normally, they're just the supporters for Odie, but here they're actually the damage dealers. So Kruger and Mikola, Shakir type team, all the melee heroes buffing up each other and dealing a lot of damage in the front line. And probably Odie is even position swapped into the front so that they're all grouped up together. Yeah, to get value from that. This is a really good team that you can try, and I really recommend that, and I'm definitely going to try to go for a team like that myself. But Jules did almost the same team, but used Lily May instead of Rainier. But Lily May could be used on a different team as well, because she deals so much damage on her own. And here's another great example. I think Taylene usually does the best with Lily May. They're both magical damage dealers. And for the Wilder faction buff tile, who did he give it to? Gave it to the Lily May. Okay, now as for Iron and Arden, it's probably because he had those heroes left over from earlier in the day with stamina. But I don't think Iron and Arden are going to be great here because, yeah, if you saw their damage output, it wasn't amazing. And also, they're good for AoE teams, multiple enemies, one enemy they're not good for. Smokey is here to buff up the Taylene and Lily May, so I think Smokey is probably a good option. But the other two could probably be replaced, possibly for a Rainier, if you have him available, or even a Thorin. Thorin also provides debuff onto the boss. And I'm even thinking like Reese Bryan, because with the Magic Charm set, they will also cause the boss to take increased damage. And I believe it's from all sources. I don't think it's only specific to that hero's damage. Here, another great Vala team. Thorin, Freyasto. This could have been even before he was below 50% health. Let's take a look. You can tell because if she goes into her melee form or not after casting her ultimate. whether it was below, no, 233 times. Yeah, it was just below 50%. I think in total they're 500 times on the boss. So yeah, below 50% is when she's going to shine. Take a look at some more teams. Also great damage dealer, Carolina. Prissa and Carolina also have good damage output in this boss fight, especially with the Wilder faction talent buff tiles for them. So those are going to be great teams you want to run. Thorin always will be a good option for bosses because he'll increase the damage the boss will take. He's like a really good debuffer, like a mini version of Rainier. So I think Thorin, Rainier you should always be having. Kruger, Shakir, together with Mikola are great. Or just like Odie, for example, in that team. And another great option is Lenya, but we haven't seen, or maybe Lenya is not too good in the... I think there have been some scores shared with me that where Lenya does a lot of damage in this boss as well. So we need to find where Lenya is. Maybe people haven't built her on this skill. Lily May doing the most damage, as you can tell. OD pretty similar damage to Kruger, Mikola. Pretty amazing that Kruger, Mikola, and Shakir are really just dealing much more damage than you would expect. Here's Lenya. Okay. So Lenya also really hard-hitting damage dealer. Usually the teams around Lenya are going to be the Kruger type teams. So like Kruger, Shakir, Mikola with Lenya. That is really powerful because then they're all melee heroes, all getting buffed up and getting that bonus damage. Lily May, good in the magical teams. Here Talene did nothing. Which is strange because the other Talene team was even legendary plus Talene. This is a mythic plus Talene. And that other team, Talene, did much more damage than here. But they had Smokey there. Maybe Smokey is needed to keep the Talene alive. I would recommend Smokey along with Talene. Maybe even Coco as well. Let's take a look at that Talene team, which was a really high ranking score even with the legendary plus Talene. I want to see how does the game play out. You have the Smokey to heal your team. Now, does Talene need more protection or is that enough? Is the question. Because if she needs more, running a Coco in here would be better. Like, if at all she gets, she dies or something, then probably running the Coco would be better. She's getting pretty low, but not exactly, not dying. So I think just one is needed. You don't need to run the double support. Smokey should be enough. Okay, yeah, I think Smokey is a really good, probably the perfect match for Talene. Keeping her topped off on the health and giving her the attack and haste buff, and the rest of your team that as well. So I would definitely recommend Lily May, Talene, Smokey in one team with Resonating Spell. Resonating Spell on either the Talene or the Lily May, I think. Both would be good options, but... And apart from that, the other team that I recommend is the Vala team. And save it for below 50% health, and then you're going to shred. Even above 50% health, I don't know. I'll try and test the team tomorrow, but... Definitely you would ideally want to save this for below 50% health. And you're going to dominate. The Kruger, Shakira, Mikola team can be at any time. And you can throw Lenya in there if you have her. If you don't, use Odie. I'm going to probably use Odie. And I don't even have Talene. So I'll probably do the Lily May, Smokey type team. Carolina, Prissa, maybe Lily May together. Carolina, Prissa, Lily May. Carolina, Prissa, Lily May, Smokey. We would need one more Wilder faction hero. Or we would need Scarlita, some Hypogean. Maybe I'll try Florabelle, I don't know. Or would you just do Damien? Give everyone the haste buff. Okay, so those are basically some great team ideas that you can have for the boss himself. If we just take a brief look at the other ones, the mini bosses for example, it's pretty similar. The top performing teams. A Talene, Lily May team with Rainier, Scarlita. Maybe even for the boss, Scarlita will be a great option. Lenya team with the Mikola. But this is the difference, right? In this team, Lenya is... by far and above the highest hardest hitting damage deal. But in the boss, all of them kind of contribute. Even though Lenya would probably out damage all of them, the Shakir, Mikola, and Odie Kruger also contribute a lot of comparative damage. And yeah. So these were mainly a lot of Lenya teams used here. And Talene teams. Talene, Lily May, and Lenya teams. So those are probably the way you want to go. But I would probably recommend going for Smokey rather than the Coco as a support for the boss. It seems like the Talene needs that healing. For the boss, maybe Coco damage reduction would be enough. I'm not sure. It could be. Then you could go for Coco instead of the Smokey. Yeah, that's possible. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video. I just wanted to update you or give you an idea of what type of teams to set in your command center for preparation for the boss and also the mini boss. The mini boss teams are going to be very similar to what we mentioned. There are other options which can work in the mini boss, for example Elsa, Cassidy type teams. However, I had a guildmate who tried the same team on the main boss and it didn't really work. So Elsa, Cassidy, although they can work for the mini bosses, for the main boss it is just going to be the teams that we showed so far, and these teams probably would be best to also run in the mini bosses too. I think they would be some of the best options there as well. Yeah, it's the same heroes being pretty much repeated, other than sometimes Elsa and Cassidy like in this team. But if for example you ran Lily May instead of Elsa, I would imagine this would get off even more damage because Lily May contributes a lot. And look at that, Corrin also doing a lot of damage. Merrily doesn't do that much, I think, because Merrily relies on normal attacks and Corrin can rely on skill damage. So Corrin is a good option. Corrin, Vala, yeah. Okay, so overall, hopefully you guys have an idea of what teams to field for tomorrow or whenever you make it to the boss. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will probably do more videos on battle drills with this battle drills map. Maybe next time it comes around at the beginning, so that like refine strategy, refine teams. But it seems like this map is not too difficult. As long as you have an active guild, you shouldn't have any trouble getting the first clear and getting the 500 diamonds. So there's not really any pressure or rush like with other battle drills we've had. Like we have had one, I think the last run of the Song of Strife season, which was just not clearable, even for an active strong guild. Anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, everyone, peace out for now.